Kia ora everyone and welcome to Breathing Space. I'm Marianne Infante and I'm super excited to be joined by the amazing Ahi Karunaharan. Hey Ahi.
Hello.
Ahi Karunaharan is a multi-award winning actor, writer, director, dramaturg and musician for stage and screen. A graduate of Victoria University of Wellington and Toi Whakaari, New Zealand School of Drama. He is interested in works that sits outside of the mainstream and amplifying the voices of those who we don't often hear. You are an incredible human. Did you know that?
Oh, stop it, Maria. But yeah, it's nice. Warm fuzzies to hear that read out loud because I've only read it on I read it myself to proof my bio. So I've never heard someone say it out loud. So I'm like, oh yeah, cool. It's nice to yeah, I feel like I'm in primary school again and like I'm getting my golden star.
It rolls quite nicely, to be honest, and it's very impressive. So 10 points for you. During the lockdown or during this global pandemic, we've been living and we've been breathing our art or been refraining from it. I want to know, who are you when your practice is on pause?
It's really interesting because I was thinking about that a lot during this time because I would say work has been a big part of defining who I am as a person. Because when I see a smile, I feel like you identify with this somewhat. But I guess it's when I graduated out of drama school, I felt this need to just keep generating work to increase visibility, and I felt that visibility could only become present if there was regularity. So to kind of create a regularity, I just kind of like kept taking on more and more, and also modeling myself based on how I seen my parents operate. And when my parents came here, they came here with nothing. So they had to hustle. They had double jobs to keep working 7 days a week. And so that is the level of work that I'm used to. And also, work has always been a gateway to gain the opportunities or to improve yourself. So I've always allowed my life to be driven by my work. So it's been really interesting in this lockdown to kind of go, well, then who am I when I don't have work? When art is not the way that I can communicate to people, or art is not what I'm known by, then what else am I known for? And that's been a really interesting journey. And hopefully I'll continue that more as we kind of loosen our levels. Yeah.
I'm really curious to know, how has your identity as a creative changed with this interesting new ways of functioning in the world? Like, have you slowed down? Have you given yourself extra time? Like, what has it done to your way of working or way of being?
For me, it's been twofold. So it's two contradictions, really. What I mean, part of my work has always been to amplify, as you read in my bio, to keep putting voices or people's experiences on stage or on screens that we're not seeing often. So already there's a marginalized or limited capacity for the work that we do. So when the pandemic kind of hit, it meant that we became even more invisible than we already were. So I felt a certain guilt that the Ahi as a person just needed to slow down and just kind of deal with that kind of trauma, what's actually happening that's beyond my control. Because in my artistic practice, we always train to problem solve. That's what we do. We think of all the worst case scenario. We do health and safety forms, but these are not these are not things that I prepared for. I'm like, well, how do I cope with this? How do I cope with not being able to make art? But also on a bigger scheme, how do I cope with not being able to, I guess, what I thought was my purpose. So there was that part of it, but also I think in that kind of 7 weeks, what has also been really interesting and really rewarding for me is to again slow down and lean back, because as we probably, I think we've talked about this before, the trend to just kind of put everything online or keep recreating productions online, and I was just interested in those who weren't speaking, who weren't manufacturing, who were really kind of rethinking about the purpose of art. That question that we keep talking about, is art an essential service? And then if it is, and if I can't do it, then how essential am I to society? How essential am I as a person? How essential am I to my family? And then all these kind of bigger questions that kind of stream out of that. So in twofold, I found myself slowing down. I found myself doing less. I found myself really rethinking about what kind of work do I want to put out there as we get more comfortable, as we start opening up our doors for more works. What are the works that our community have missed out? Are they ready to hear those conversations? Yes, a lot of kind of thinking around purpose and intent, but at the same time, a massive kind of realization that as POC artists, that there's a couple of steps back that we've been pushed back, that we just need to kind of push back with ferocious tenacity to move forward.
My last question is, in terms of your breathing space, like your physical breathing space, I see you've got tons of books behind you. It looks bloody beautiful. I don't know if you did this purposefully just for this video.
Absolutely purposeful. Marianne, I tested 4 different backgrounds, and then I was like, there's the white background, then there's the other one that you can see bits of my personal life. I was like, no, it can't be that. And then the lounge was too dimly lit. This was the most, the artistically pleasing background to come up with. But also it's it is my workspace, because this is where my desk and my working place is. So I thought, no, let's do it from here, because I think the other background would have pinged my clothing a little bit better and lit me a little bit more better as well. But yeah, this is definitely my breathing space. So I've kind of thought, why not present it as it is?
I appreciate that so much. I think heaps of people are currently adapting and adjusting in different spaces. Like this is my second space now during lockdown, and I'm going through another phase of transition because of that. And it is nice to just have a space where it reflects whatever state of mind you're in at that moment or not. Like, for example, if I'm writing a long-winded typing session, sometimes I just need to be on the couch, because I need other distractions. And for other people, it's a blank room, But thank you so much for sharing your breathing space with me. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and just how you've been during lockdown and how you are now. Everyone, that's Ahi Karunaharan. I'm Marianne Infante, and this is Breathing Space. Thanks, Ahi.
Thank you.